Right, really quick one for this video. We'll have a look at setting up the door. We're going to use our existing door, lockable door, so that it needs X number of items to be collected before it's unlocked. The only new blueprint that we're going to need here is a collectible item, and we'll have to modify it. So I'm actually just going to duplicate the key and use that, and then just change it a little bit. So that sends a different message to our door. We'll have to add a new custom event to our door as well. Let's do that first. So we'll go into the door and we'll add a new event, which we will call it's a custom event, my bad. So add a custom event which we will call item collected. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to create a new variable over here, which is an integer, which we will call number of items collected, and then we'll check to see, we'll make two variables. So we'll do number of items collected and then number of items required, and then we'll compare them against each other, and that way we can have like multiple doors that have different number of items that need to be collected. So we shall give that a go. Let's see, are we going to need to change anything here? I think we should be alright. Maybe we should set up another door. Let me think. Is locked. No, we'll be fine. Okay, so let's give this a go. We'll add a new variable and we'll call this items collected, and we'll change that from a boolean to an integer, and let's add another one which is going to be an integer because we just made one, called items required. Okay, so what we're going to do is every time we collect an item, we're going to add one to items collected. So we'll get items collected, and then we'll do a plus, and we'll put one in here, and then we will get items collected and set it. So essentially every time an item is collected, it gets the current number, adds one to it, and then updates the value here. From that point, so every time we collect an item, we want to check to see if the number of items collected is equal to the items required, and if so, it's going to unlock our door. So we'll get items required, pull that in and get it, and we can do, we'll just do like an equal to for this one. So we're going to say, right, is items required equal to items collected? We could plug it in like that, or you could bring in items collected. It really depends on what you want to do. So this here is going to check to see if items required is equal to the number of items collected. We have a boolean from that, so we'll use a branch, plug that in there, and if that is true, we will set is locked to false. So every time we collect an item, items collected goes up by 1. It checks to see if items required and items collected are equal to each other. If it's true, it's going to unlock the door. Now we do need to set items required to a value, so let's compile. So we do have a default value. At the moment it's set to 0. So the number of items required to open this door is 0. Now we could put a default value in there, so every door requires the same amount, or we could make the number of items required a public variable like we did previously. So when we go back to our level, click on the door, you can see that we've got items required is set to 0. We can now customize this per door. So for example's sake, I can have one door that requires 3 items, another door that requires 5 items, another door that requires 10 items. It's entirely up to you. But in order to change that on a per door basis, we have to make sure that items required is set to public and then editable on each instance of the blueprint. This being an instance, another instance over there. So the last thing we need is the collectible item. I'm going to use the key as a basis for this, so I'm just going to hold Control and press D to duplicate, and I'm just going to call it BP collectible item, or 1. And then we need to make some changes to this, so we'll go into the collectible item, and we don't want to now send the target door the message the key has been collected. We want to send the target door the message that an item has been collected, so no longer this but this. So let's get rid of key collected. We can take our reference from target door and search for item collected, plug that in, plug that back in. I'm going to make it look different from the key, so I'm just going to add, I'll get rid of the sphere and add a cube instead, make it a bit smaller. Oops, I've changed the name to R, let's put that back, make it a bit smaller, that should be fine. Make sure that it is blocking responses on the interactive channel, so I'm going to come down to the collision preset on the cube, change that to custom. I'll get it to ignore everything except for traces on the interactive channel. That's so that our line trace, our sphere trace rather, will recognize the cube. And then I shall, I'll just drag in a new door for this. I'll put a new door in there, and I'm going to grab my collectible items. I'm going to make 3. Because I've got 3 collectible items that connect to this door, I'm going to make sure that this door is looking for 3 items. I wonder what might happen to this. I don't think anything will happen. Let's have a quick look. Hopefully that doesn't open. Alright, great. So this door does not open. I'll collect 1 item, doesn't open. 2 items, doesn't open. 3 items, doesn't open. Oh, that is because, here's our errors here. Accessed none, trying to read property, target door. So the problem here is that I haven't told these items which door they belong to. So let's select our items one at a time. You can see I've not assigned the target. You belong to that door. You belong to that door. And you belong to that door. Let's try it again. Okay, door doesn't open. 1 item, still locked. 2 items, still locked. 3 items, door opens and closes. Alright, nice and easy for that one. And again, like I said, you can have multiple doors for this. So I'll pull out another door, and I'm going to drag out just 1 copy for this one. I need to change the door that it belongs to, so you now belong to this door. And then I can just copy. This one now needs 5, so I'm going to change this one to 5. And what I'll do is I'll collect 1, 2, and 3. That door opens. That door does not. Now technically that's 5 in total, but you can see that that doesn't open because I need to collect the items that relate to that specific door. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this one. I'll see you for the next one.